Hi, guys. Welcome to your first day of freshman year. I am so excited to get to know you guys this year and meet you all. Kind of stinks we don't all get to be together in person, but we're going to do the best we can, right? Um, for those of you who are remote learners, this is your first day of video instruction. Um, I will hopefully get a Google Meet with you maybe tomorrow, but we'll see how things go. We're all getting used to this new schedule. We haven't been in school in like 5 months, so it's going to be kind of a learning curve, and getting back to routines is going to be a little difficult, but we'll work it out. Um, so here we are. I'm going to start by showing you what you would see in person if you were in school. That way, when you come back, if you come back in 9 weeks or at the end of the semester, you'll know what to expect. Um, so, the first day when you come in, and every day thereafter, you will see a slide like this on the board that shows you the day and the date. Although sometimes I might forget to change the date from the week before, or I might have the wrong day. Most of the time, it's correct. Like 99% of the time, it's right. Um, but here's the day and the date. Below that, it'll show the agenda. That's what we're doing for the day. Normally, the first thing on the agenda is to complete the warm up, but I didn't put it on there this time because we are going to talk about the warm up anyway. And then below that is the objective. That's your goal. It's something we're striving for. So the objective is what we need to do for that day. So today's objective is students will review the first day letter with policies and procedures for the classroom. So you know that today we're going to go over the policies and procedures for our class. Now, some of the things don't apply to you remote learners. But we're going to go over them anyway. Like I said, someday you might become face to face again. Also, these videos are useful for our kids who are absent. So if anybody was absent today, then they're going to be able to look at this video and get all of the same information that everybody else has gotten. Okay, on this side, you'll find your warm up. Every day, you'll find your warm up over there. For you guys, your warm up is going to be in a Google form. And remember, you go to my site. Oh, let's preview it. And first 2 days right here, you go to my site, and right here is where the warm up is. So during the videos, I'm going to tell you all this stuff about the objective, and then I'm going to say to pause the video and do your warm up. When I say that, you go back to the Google site, you click the word warm up, and that'll pull up a Google form for you to complete. So at this time, what I want you to do is pause this video, go complete your warm up, and then come back and press play again. All right, so you should have your warm up done. So let's just get started with the lesson for today. So today we're going over Miss Rizzo's classroom rules and procedures, and as much as I'd love for you to keep seeing my face so you can know who I am, I'm actually going to get rid of this because it'll be in the way of some of the slides, okay? So I've put the objective down here again. Let's go to our first slide. All right, so the first thing is our newsletter review. So the newsletter is something we send out every year. Normally it's a paper copy we send out, and then we have students and their parents sign it and bring it back. This year, we're sending out the newsletter in a Google form to parents through Skyward. So what parents are going to do is they're going to go into Skyward, and they're going to see a message, or they'll get it in their email. They're going to open up this Google form, and there's going to be sections on the Google form with different classroom policies, things like there's going to be a supply list, our COVID policies, and beneath each section, there will be two check boxes. Next to one, it'll say parents guardian, and next to the other, it'll say student. Parents need to check both boxes, letting us know that everyone knows the information about the English 1 course and about the expectations that we have. You're basically just saying, I've read the policies and I agree to abide by them, or I'll make sure my child abides by them, okay? So your parents will be able to do that tonight. health and safety with COVID, it's important to remember that everything we do needs to be done with our health and safety in mind. So remember to follow all school guidelines. You need to social distance when possible and wear a mask when you're required, which is on the bus and on campus. In my classroom, even if we're able to social distance, we are still going to wear a mask. If you're not comfortable wearing a mask, get a face shield. You can wear those as well. You don't have to wear both. You can wear one or the other, or you can wear both. It's up to you. Students also have to wear their IDs. This is a safety issue. If for some reason you're unable to tell me who you are, your ID will tell me. Also, if somebody comes into school that's not supposed to be here, it'll be easier to tell that they're not supposed to be here because they won't be wearing an ID. Okay? Um, so just make sure when you're in class and you're in the halls, you're wearing your ID. Do not move the desks. We've spaced them as best we can. I got mine a couple feet apart. And if you move them, then you're like getting too close to people, right? So make sure you don't move them. Sit in your assigned seat only. Stay seated. The reason that we're asking y'all to stay seated and sit in your own assigned seat is COVID, right? If you're in an assigned seat, somebody in class gets sick, I can tell who is sitting near that kid so we know who to notify, right? And then stay seated. Raise your hand if you need to get out of your seat, even if it's just to sharpen your pencil. First of all, it's the polite thing to do, right? And second of all, it's to make sure that you're not all congregating somewhere like near the pencil sharpener. And also wash your hands. Use hand sanitizer. We have hand sanitizer in class for you to use, or you can bring your own personal hand sanitizer. If you bring your own personal hand sanitizer, we just are going to discourage you from sharing. So hopefully you watched the video about the Google site already. We have one that the English teachers created where you and your parents can find the list of supplies, English 1 expectations, and contact info for English teachers. This is also where you can access each of the English 1 teachers' websites that remote learners have to use every day. If you are absent and you're in person, this teacher's website is a great way for you to get your makeup work. We're not going to do anything different in the class than remote. We're going to try to keep everything the same. The only difference might be how it's given. Where kids might write on a piece of paper in class, you guys will fill out a Google form or do a Google document instead. So if you're absent, we're going to give you the option to do the remote learning for that day. Watch the video, do the assignment, rather than having to come pick up papers in class. On my Google site, my homepage has About Me. Up at the top, you'll click on Unit 1, scroll down to the current week, click on that week, and within that week is a section for each day where instructions and instructional videos, presentations, resources, etc. will be posted. Your actual assignments will be in Google Classroom, but everything you need to complete the assignment is going to be on your Google site. Your email is how your teachers and counselors will communicate with you. And this is your Bronco mail. So if a counselor wants you to come to the counselor's office, at some point during the day, they'll send a pass. In the past, they've sent a student aide with the pass, and then you just come down whenever your teacher lets you go. This year, they're going to send you an email. So it's important that you're checking your email every day. I would check it a couple times a day. I'd also recommend downloading an email app on your device so you can easily access your Bronco Mail. Only email your teachers and counselors, etc. from Bronco Mail. If you're emailing a friend, it needs to be about school. Use your personal email for personal things, right? Your school email, we don't want it to get clouded up with junk mail and spam, so just make sure that you're only using it for school purposes. This is the same email you're going to have all throughout high school, right? Your warm-ups will be done via Google Forms. You've already done one, so you know how to do it. If you're in class, you begin immediately, even if the bell hasn't rang. So once you're in class, you're in your desk getting ready to learn, okay? Remote learners, make sure that you pause when I tell you and do the warm-up. The warm-up actually will give us a date and a time for when it's completed, and that really helps with giving you attendance credit. Everything you do, any of the work you turn in, you're going to get attendance credit as long as you do it before 11:59. But with the warm-up, there's no way for anybody to get confused as to whether or not you were actually in attendance. So make sure at the very least you always do your warm-up. If you decide to skip your warm-up, you just won't get the grade for it. but make sure you're doing other work also and turning it in on time. Okay? If you finish early in class, read a book and stay quiet so others can complete their warm ups. You cannot go on your phone. When you finish early, you need to find something else to do, whether it's a book, homework for other classes, or you need me to give you something to do, that's fine. But we do not just sit on our phones. We do not sleep. We don't just sit, right? We have to be working. We will go over warm ups after the timer goes off. You have the first 5 minutes in class to do your warm up. For remote learners, we're going to go over warm ups at the end of each week. There will be, there will be a little video or a slide presentation for you to look at to find the answers of warm ups later in the week. Leaving class. You need to stay seated until the bell rings. We will not leave class unless everyone is seated when the bell rings. Students cannot line up at the door. We can't crowd around the door or bunch at the door. As you leave, be aware of social distancing. Please help keep the room clean. Make sure all trash is picked up from the floor and desks. And seventh period puts the chairs up. Bathroom. Actually, we don't have chairs to put up this year because I got different desks. So there we go. Bathroom procedures. You cannot use the bathroom during the first 20 minutes of this class. The school has assigned bathroom times for each classroom. Ours is the last 20 minutes of class. You have 3 bathroom passes for 9 weeks, so use them wisely. When you leave your phone in the basket on my desk. When we go to the bathroom, it's to use the bathroom, not to make a phone call. So we do not take our phones. Also, that's lots of germs, right? Passing periods and lunch are the best times for you to go. And yes, your phone is safe in the basket. It's on my desk where I am close to it and can see it. Nobody else will be allowed to touch your phone. And we only allow one student to go to the bathroom at a time. Technology. This is a no phone zone unless we're using phones for learning purposes. This is your only warning, okay? If I see you on your phone when you're not supposed to be, like I haven't given the class permission, or I see you on your phone doing something else other than school stuff when you have permission to be doing school stuff on your phone, then I'm going to take it. The first time I'll put it at my desk. You come get it at the end of the day. And yes, my desk locks. The second time and every other time, it'll go to Mr. Hadnot, and either you or your parents will have to get it from him. If you do not have a device, we have Chromebooks available, but they are very limited because we've loaned so many out to the remote kids. All right, remember, if you use Chromebook in class, Chromebook rules apply. Absent and late work. This is all in the student handbook, but you know that you are responsible for getting your absent work. You can find it on the Google site and in Google Classroom. So if you're gone on Monday and you're in class, then go ahead and go to the Google site and look at the remote learning stuff for Monday and just complete that, okay? Remember, however many days you missed is how long you have to make up your work. The only exception is if you're gone more than 3 days, you get 1 extra day. So if you're gone 4 days, you get 5 days. If you're gone 6 days, you get 7. If you are absent for a test, you have to come to afternoon tutorials to make up the test. I have an appointment sheet. We need to do things by appointment so we can limit the amount of kids coming to one tutorial at a time. If for some reason I cannot be here for tutorials, like I have afternoon duty or I'm absent or have an appointment or something, then you need to talk to Miss Weston or Miss Hanson and ask them about coming to their tutorials to make up a test, because occasionally, every few weeks, I have a whole week of afternoon duty, and if you need to make up a test that week, I just won't be here, so you'll have to go to another teacher's classroom. They're usually pretty good about letting other kids come. Some of them might only have morning tutorials, or they might have both. I only have afternoon. Late work will be accepted up to 3 days late. It's minus 10 points per day. After the third day, it remains 0. And you know what? Let me tell you, even if you don't finish an assignment, and it's already late, turn it in. Any grade is better than a 0. Even a 20 is better than a 0, okay? The more points you get, the better off you'll be, okay? So just turn in work. Be prepared. If you're in class, bring your consumable to class every day. If you keep it in your locker, just make sure that you have it. Maybe once you forget it, I'll let you go to your locker and get your consumable. However, it's not going to be a habit or daily thing. You need to go to your locker before coming to class, get your book, and then come in between classes, okay? If you Take it home with you. Do not leave it at home. Make sure you bring it back. We do not have in-class textbooks this year, so there is no textbook here for you to use. And also, we have consumable textbooks, meaning we're going to be writing in them, annotating in them, highlighting. We're going to be answering questions in the textbook. So you need your textbook here to do your work. You also need a spiral or composition notebook for this class, and you need a folder. It'll be our writing folder. Bring a pen or pencil every day. You also need highlighters, pink, blue, green, and yellow. Make sure to bring your own supplies. If for some reason you can't get them, talk to me privately. Pull me aside, send me an email. I will help you get what you need. Collaborative groups means collaborative is working together. Be respectful. This is a privilege. If we're not using our collaborative group time effectively and we're not doing our work, we won't do groups. We'll do individual work. Everyone needs to participate. Everyone will have a role. Social distancing is making groups look a little different this year, so most of our group work will be digital. So maybe we'll do like slides, and each group member will be able to put in a different slide, right? Something like that. We'll figure it out. Google Classroom is also how we'll communicate with you. This is where all of your assignments will be. We'll also share some resources there that maybe didn't get posted in the Google site, or maybe resources that we want you to really look at since you get notifications in Classroom. You must sign up for Google Classroom whether you're in class or you're a remote learner. Log in with your Bronco Mail, click the plus sign, and wait for the code. Here are all the codes. You might want to pause this video right now to sign up for Google Classroom. So pause, and when you're done, come back. If you've already done it, then keep going. All right, so those of you who paused, you should be back. The next thing we're going to sign up for is Remind. You need Remind. I might send out reminders like, don't forget tomorrow's picture day. I don't know if we're having picture day this year, but that's an example. Or don't forget we have our finals tomorrow, or don't forget about the test tomorrow, or make sure to bring your highlighters tomorrow, okay? It's a great way for me to keep in touch with you outside of school. Also, I do allow the texting back. So if ever you have a homework question, or you're confused about something, or maybe you can't remember what day picture day is or what's going on tomorrow at school, you can text me and ask. It has to be school related. Okay, we're not talking about boyfriends and we're not talking about movies. We're only texting for school purposes. Okay, and I will text back with your answers. I have I had kids all last year that would, text me saying, "Miss, when is this due?" And I'd be able to tell them right away because it comes straight to my phone. I typically am better at responding to texts versus emails right on the spot. Emails take me a little longer because they don't, for some reason, my notifications are weird. So, anyway, in the Meet the Teacher video, my text code was actually wrong. It's at krizzo20 and for some reason it said 21. And that was some kind of technical error where on the website I had one code and on my phone app it had the other. And I think that's because I originally was going to have 21, but I decided to change it to 20, and it only changed from, I don't know. It was a mess. Technology can be a mess sometimes. So make sure you have this correct Remind code. Let's go ahead and pause and let you join Remind real quick if you have a device. And when you're done, go ahead and click play again. All right, so you should be signed up for Remind. Your parents also can sign up, so let them sign up too. And that is actually the end. So now what you're going to do is I want you to go to Google Classroom, right? Go to the site, click on the Google Classroom link, go to classwork and find your assignment for today. It is called Classroom Rules and Procedure Quiz, but there's a date. It'll say 8/20 Classroom Rules and Procedures Quiz. Click that quiz and go ahead. It's a Google form. Go ahead and take the quiz, and then you're done for today. And that's it. Your first day of Freshman English 1 is all wrapped up. Okay? So excited for us to keep going, and I will see you guys tomorrow.